All right, members of the committee, I'd like to call the Finance, Ways and Means Appropriations Subcommittee to order for March 29th, 2021. Madam Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Representatives Campbell, Faison, Garrett, Hazelwood, Hicks of Hawkins, Lamar, Miller, Sexton of Granger, Shaw, Sparks, Zachary, Chairman Williams. Chairman, you have a quorum.
Do the members of the committee have any personal orders? Seeing none. Folks, we're going to go out of session in a moment to begin hearing budget amendments. These budget amendments are your budget amendments for the House. This body and the other chairman of the Finance Committee encourage you to make sure your Senate member is also filing an amendment. That way they are consistent with each other. I will say also that those budget appropriation amendments will be judged based upon and find more favor if there is a statewide application versus one that is regional or local. And so they will be categorized in that fashion. Those that do have statewide application will find more favor, obviously, with the entire body than those that are local. We also say that during this period of time, there are 230 or 240, somewhere about, budget amendments. If everybody takes 2 minutes, that'll take 8 hours for this committee, and we do not have 8 hours. So brevity will also be a part of your grading category or grading of your budget appropriations amendments. And so we would just want to encourage you to do that. You're obviously welcome to contact my office or the other chairman's office about any questions you have after. No outside groups will be allowed to testify on behalf of your budget appropriation. That being said, we're going to go out of session. Yes, sir. We are back in session. Representative Shaw, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'll be briefly back in Hardeman County. We had a serious tornado this weekend to come through. I think a lot of Tennesseans did, but over in Grand Junction, since we're streaming, in case some of those people are listening and watching, we just want you to know that we're thinking about you and praying for you, and we'll do all we can to help out. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Also, tomorrow at 4:30 in this room, House hearing, we do not get to your budget appropriation amendment today, the list will start over again fresh tomorrow. So if you were 25th on the list today and we only got to 24, we will not pick back up where the list is tomorrow because we'll have other committees going on. It'll be too difficult to keep up with. So if we do not get your budget appropriation amendment today, we will tomorrow at 4:30 in this committee. We will have 2 hours set aside. An hour and a half set aside in order to deal with those budget appropriation amendments tomorrow. That being said, we're going to go out of session. First on my list and number one in our heart, who's been here since 7:30 this morning, Representative Cooper, you are recognized on your budget amendment. She is located for the members, page 2, item number 29 is her first. Representative Cooper, you are recognized. Clock has started.
May I ask you a question, Mr. Chair?
Yes, ma'am.
You mentioned about the Senate sponsors. I did not check to see if they filed those amendments. I do have Senate sponsors.
Thank you, Representative. The Senate budget appropriation amendment filing deadline is not until April the 4th. So it will be incumbent upon the member to get with their Senate sponsor to make sure that they have filed a budget appropriation amendment. It is not necessary at this time for the members to tell or to notify this committee of whether or not the Senate has filed it or not. Our unbelievable research staff will look to see if it has been filed in the Senate once their filing period is complete.
Yes, sir. And I have 7, and they're not in order, so I want to make it smoother, do it as quickly as possible and smoothly.
Yes, Representative, we will take your hearings up as you want to speak on them. No member has to communicate on every one of their members. Matter of fact, we would encourage you to love the one you love the best and talk about that one. And then if you don't get to the rest, that will be fine. But you're recognized on your first budget amendment. If you'll tell us which number it is you'd like for us to recognize, we're happy to go there.
Well, the first one that I have here, I just go by the ones I have listed right now, is MAG, Memphis Area Association of Governments. And I'd like to just give them a shout out. MAG is working with the cities and the counties.
Item number 5 on your draft.
Is that
Item number 35,
Oh,
page 3 on your list.
all right. I don't have a calendar before me, so,
We have an amendment list in front of us.
Yes,
If you want to tell us about House Amendment number 95, which is item number 35 on our list, then you may go ahead and do so.
yes, it does exactly what it says, to support the economic development projects in Shelby, Lauderdale, Tipton, and Fayette counties in the amount of $25,000 each county. They'll have 3 economic projects that they do. They do a terrific job on promoting the cities and counties and providing services for those constituents in those counties. So I ask for your consideration and vote.
Thank you, Representative Cooper. Would you like to communicate on any of the other ones?
Yes, sir. The next one is African April. It's a cultural program been in Shelby County and across the state. It is an awareness festival that educates the community, the counties,
Item number
about
93,
countries,
page 2.
other countries and all. And when they come in, we have quite a few of tourists. It contributes to the economy of the state from the tourism that comes in, and also as well as educate them about Tennessee and educate Tennesseans about other countries in the world. So that's one that I'm submitting.
Number 93.
Okay, yes, sir.
Do you have another one?
Yes, sir. I have 5 left, 6 left.
Yes.
Another one is what we call progeny startups. And this is majority of these are young folk who are in high school.
Item number 32, page 2 of your calendar, House Amendment number 92 is the one she's
Yeah,
communicating.
progeny. 30. And these youngsters opt to go into apprenticeship programs where they learn the skill, they own the job, get paid on the job, and when they finish, they have an opportunity to keep that job as a career. So I present that to you also for consideration.
Thank you, Representative. And your next one?
The next one is Abundant Earth Global. That is
Item number 29, House Amendment 89 on page 2. Representative, you're recognized.
Thank you. And this program is a community-based program for communities and families where they can come in and have after-school programs and also counseling, whatever that family needs. That community has been crime-ridden and all, and so I'm sure that this will help with the citizens and those young folk to get the training and the counseling and whatever services that the support neighborhood too that they need. So this would help them to repair that building that they have, that they're doing programs in already, to keep it in compliance with the laws, with those.
Thank you, Representative. And your next one?
The next one is the sickle cell anemia.
Item number 31 on page 2, House Amendment 91. Representative Cooper, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Sickle cell has a record of, we do have a number of our people across the state that require sickle cell services. I understand that there's not very much in Knoxville, in East Tennessee, and we're working on that to make sure that we take care of all the citizens of Tennessee who have family members and who are suffering from sickle cell. And I think most people in here already know what sickle cell is, a health disease that people have, and we're trying to do what we can to service that population.
Yes, ma'am.
And the last one, I think I have 7, is Memphis Cotton Makers Jubilee. It's been around for so many years.
Item number 34, page 2, House Amendment 94. Yes, ma'am, you're recognized.
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman. That's been around for some 70 years or more that service our state, our city, counties, and the states. And it brings people together, and it also provides education on how important that cotton was and is to the counties and to the state of Tennessee.
Thank you, Representative. Do you have any more budget amendments you'd like to discuss today?
I think that's all I have today. If I miss one, I'll be back and try to get in tomorrow.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you very much.
And thank-
Any members? Yes, Representative Miller.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Very quickly on 31 for Representative Cooper. The Sickle Cell Foundation, that is a statewide foundation. And 33 by Representative Cooper, Africa in April Cultural Awareness Festival. Not only do individuals from all over the country, well, Tennessee and the country attend this festival, but actually it's global. People from all over the world attend this annual festival, and I just wanted to say that. Thank you.
Thank you, Representative. Any other comments for Representative Cooper? Thank you, Representative Cooper, for advocating for your district today.
I did think, I'm sorry, Mr. Chair, I think I did have one that I missed. Is one that serves the jails.
Item number 30, House Amendment number 90, Pyramid Recovery Center. Representative Cooper, you're recognized.
I'm sorry, Mr. Chairman and members. That I've taken a personal visit to the jails, and they're really suffering bad. And after COVID came in, it's really bad. The deputy sheriff, the staff are stressed because of this. And when we short of staff there, then those inmates are not out for 2 or 3 and 4 days, sometimes up in their cells. And they certainly need some support to have counselors to come in and speak with those inmates and work with the staff so that the operation can run smoothly or better, not cause any problems that we may encounter for not having services that we need. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Representative Cooper. Next on our list, we have page number 3, item number 6, Representative Crawford. You're recognized on your House Amendment. On deck on page number 5, item number 70 is Representative HAKEEM. Representative Crawford, when you can get to the podium, you are recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, committee members. This is House Bill 1153, Amendment number 4958.
I'm sorry, members, he may have confused us a little bit. You're on the draft, you were on the list. He's on page number 3, item number 36, House Amendment number 230. Representative Crawford, you're recognized on.
Thank you, sir. This is the EMS training facility appropriation that I'm working on. 2 years ago, we passed the bill here in the House that allowed ambulance service performers and drivers to be able to be trained in-house. And due to a major shortage throughout the state, and we did that because we could do it in half the time at half the cost. So in my community, we have built a new facility. It's about $2.5 million facility, and there is 7 other counties that adjoins my county, so 8 in total. This will be a regional training center, and we have bought the property, built the building, everything's in place. And what I'm asking for is an appropriation of $75,000 to help buy the equipment, the dummies, and everything they need to do the training. So that's what my appropriation does, and I would hope you all would consider that.
Thank you, Representative. Any questions for the representative? Thank you, Representative. I appreciate the hard work you're doing for your district. And if anybody has asked me more about their amendment, it's not you. You've asked me more about your amendment than anybody. I appreciate your testimony here today. With no questions, we're on to the next one.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Yes,
thank you, committee.
Thank you. Representative HAKEEM, while she's doing that, Representative White and Representative Cheryl, if you guys will take a seat somewhere else, stand at the back of the room. I'm going to use those 4 seats as a cue. So starting on my right, in that first chair would be Representative Sapicki. The next chair would be Representative Doggett. The next chair would be Representative Helton, Sapicki, Doggett, Helton, and Carr right here. All right. And then thank you so much for cleaning mics and doing that. So as they leave, you can clean the mics across, and that way we can go a little bit faster. Representative HAKEEM, you are recognized. For the members on your list in page number 5, item number 70 is his first of two that I have on there. Representative HAKEEM, you are recognized.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman and members. It is item 136, deals with the 100 Black Women National Coalition. This is statewide implications, dealing with 4 cities, Chattanooga, Nashville, Memphis, and Knoxville. It's a great use of small funds to do great deeds in the community. Some of the things that they do with the funding we provide is promote gender equity in health, education, and economic empowerment, free programs for the community, women and girls, and health symposiums, and something they call Sisternomics. This is an economic development program, and mentorships for our young girls. Okay. The second item is item 71, item 71, Amendment 137. And that is for the Bessie Smith Cultural Center, which is uniquely positioned to address the critical needs in providing programs that celebrate, enhance, and embrace cultural diversity in the community, understanding and sharing of our history and our cultures. Part of the funding that is being requested is for technological, that word, upgrades for the museum, and to expand the educational programs. We will note that both in the Western and Middle Grand Divisions, appropriations much larger than what is being asked in this instance have been provided. East Chattanooga, East Tennessee has as great a history as any other. We'd ask that consideration. Some of the things that the funding would be used for is kiosk, building upgrades, educational outreach to not only schools, but the community in general. And we ask your consideration.
Thank you, Representative HAKEEM. Any questions for Representative HAKEEM by the members? Seeing none, thank you, Representative, for your time here today. Next, we have on the list page number 2 for the members, page number 2, item number 22. Representative Sapicki, you are recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The first appropriation is for Maury County Fire and Rescue, our volunteer fire department for Maury County. They're looking for help purchasing more equipment for the firefighters and also help defray the cost of them going to additional training. That's the first one, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Any questions for Representative Sapicki? My apologies. Seeing none, we're on your next one, Representative Sapicki.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This is more of a regional request from the Boys and Girls Club of Southern Middle Tennessee. This is to purchase a van to be able to transport the teens back and forth from workforce development programs and internships and job shadowing, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Chairman. Thank you, Chairman. Any questions for Chairman? My assumption is
Just a van, sir.
and your next one, item number 24 on your list, House Amendment 31.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This is from a kid's place. It's a Southern Middle Tennessee Advocacy Center. It is to help investigative services and treatment to help children of sexual and physical abuse.
Thank you, Representative. Any questions for Chairman Sapicki? Seeing none, thank you, Chairman Sapicki, for your brevity.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Chairman Doggett, you're recognized. For the members, page number 3, item number 41. Representative Doggett, you are recognized.
Well,
House Amendment 117.
Yes, good afternoon, and thank you, Mr. Chairman. Item number 41 here, the Jason Dickey Memorial Fire Training Facility in Lawrenceburg. We're asking for $136,000 to help complete this regional fire training facility that will at least offer a training experience to 13 surrounding counties, maybe more. There's one fire training facility in Middle Tennessee over in Bell Buckle, I believe is where it is, or Belfast. And this is one that will help save some monies for your rural departments and city departments. It's going to be state-of-the-art, very nice training facility.
Thank you. Any questions for Chairman Doggett? Seeing none, Chairman Doggett, you have a House Amendment 118, Hope Botanical Garden.
That is correct. Item number 42. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This is asking for a $10,000 one-time, non-reoccurring deal here to help them with some of their infrastructure that they're doing to create opportunities for economic development there and tourism in Lawrence County.
Okay, thank you. And your last amendment, we have item number 43, House Amendment 119.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Chairman and committee. And this right here is a weather radar. Last year, 2 tornadoes within 1 week, within 7 days, touched down in Lawrence County, Tennessee. Lots of damage and things happened. A week or so later, we had the March 3rd tornadoes that come through Nashville. But there's no radar coverage. If you look on the maps across the state of Tennessee, there's pockets of gaps where the National Weather Service are unable to fully get radar coverage because the radar beams are shooting so high up into the atmosphere that they're not able to see some of the lower ground storms. And this is what happened. This, a nonprofit group there in the county, community leaders came together. They raised $500,000 last year to buy a radar to set up. It is in use. It worked this last week. I watched live as a tornado was touched down in Wayne County, Tennessee, whereas some of the weather channels up in Nashville did not show it as being an active tornado until about 5 minutes afterwards. But they had already been able to get coverage out through their Facebook and website apps that they could let people know. Around 500,000 people benefit from this radar. They're asking for $400,000 so that they can purchase an additional radar to put further west towards Hardin County so that they can serve more Tennesseans and that help fill that pocket. Thank you.
Yeah, any questions, Chairman Doggett? Chairman Doggett, is just for better clarity, you don't have the reason why your community asked for or started this, and this is additional seed money, is because there's not good radar service for that area, or it was something that they didn't have access to at the time?
That is correct. If you go on the National Weather Service and look at their map of radar coverage, Nashville, for example, there'll be a big circle that goes out. Memphis will be a big circle. Down in Alabama, Birmingham, and it creates these triangular pockets across the state. Mm-hmm. When the tornadoes come through Lawrence County last year in February, there was no warning from the National Weather Service. Even the Nashville and Huntsville, Alabama TV channel stations that have weather radars there, they're shooting up 3,000 feet into the sky. Mm-hmm. So they're only catching the storms that are up high. Whereas this radar is shooting from Lawrenceburg, shooting out at 400 feet across Lawrence County, 600 feet where I live. You go 40 miles away. It takes a long distance. It's covering many, many counties before it gets up as high as some of those major media market things. So it's a great benefit. A tool provides early warning to the citizens of 500,000 citizens.
Thank you, Chairman Doggett. Representative Shaw.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I just wanted to echo what he was saying. Being in broadcast business, those low-lying areas like that, a lot of communities don't get proper time when storms are dropping. So that's very critical. And I don't know how that should be solved, but I appreciate what you're saying.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Chairman Doggett. Appreciate your testimony today.
Thank you.
Leader Lambert, podium here, Representative Chairlady Elton, you are recognized.
Okay.
She's on page 6, item number 87 for the members. Page number 6, item number 87.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This appropriation amendment is for the city of Eastridge, Tennessee to be used for relocation and renovation expenses for the city animal shelter in the amount of $672,500 non-recurring. Currently, the animal shelter does not have the adequate space or technology to provide the customer service and quality of care for our citizens and animals. Also, the deterioration of the structure has presented many problems for the staff, ranging from rodent and insect infestations to possible security issues for the animals. Unfortunately, we're unable to upgrade our facility at the current location, given that the property borders the FEMA floodway and is well within the FEMA 100 flood plan. Given the location to surrounding creeks, the staff must precisely monitor every wet weather event to ensure that an evacuation of the animals within our facility is not needed. The city has been searching for a new location for many years. They have identified a building along Ringgold Road within an area of the city that needs revitalization. Their goal is to rehabilitate an existing building that will meet the needs of the shelter staff and animals for years to come. And
Thank
that's-
you, Chair Lady Helton. Any questions
you.
for Chair Lady Helton? All for the animals.
Yes.
Thank you, Chair Lady Helton.
Thank
Appreciate
you
your
for your
testimony today.
consideration.
Representative Carr, Chairman Carr, you're recognized. For the members, Chairman Carr's amendments begin on page 2, item number 20. While the members are getting there, Chairman Hawford, on this chair to my right here, Chairman Ramsey, and then Chairman Moon will fill this empty seat here. Representative or Chairman Carr, you're recognized. Item number 2, or page number 2, item 20.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This is a appropriations to supplement our BEP funding for the Sevier County. And that's just in case that we don't get any other funding or not. We're way below the other people on the BEP funding, so I'd like to put in appropriation for that. It's a grant to the Board of Education to supplement the BEP funding to bring us up to the 50% scale on certain things that most all the other LEAs are getting now.
Thank you, Chairman Carr. This budget amendment is no stranger to this process, so we appreciate you advocating for your community well. And so thank you. Any members have, Chairman Hicks, you were recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Representative Carr, is this for the salary component? Is this to get it up to 50% of just the salary component of BEP?
No, sir. Thank you, Chairman. I'm sorry, Chairman.
Chairman, you're recognized.
Thank you, Chairman Hicks. No, this is for this total right here would get it up to the 25% state share in the non-classroom components, along with the 50% state share in instructional salaries and wages components, instructional benefits components, and classroom components.
Okay, thank
That
you
would be
very
just
much.
our share.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any further questions for Chairman Carr? Seeing none, thank you, Chairman Carr.
Thank you.
Leader Lamberth, you are recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And on items number 103 and 104, these are actually alternative amendments. Would not even ask that you fund both. They're both for the Jason.
Leader.
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman.
Item number 103 and item number 104, House Amendment 1 and 2. Leader Lamberth, you are recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This is for the Jason Foundation. During this pandemic and over the last year, it has really highlighted the need for additional funding for suicide prevention, especially amongst our youth. That is what the Jason Foundation has been doing for decades. It is a fantastic organization. It is one that I hope either through a one-time funding request of $915,000 or a 3-year recurring grant of $305,000 that we could hopefully augment their mission and do a good job of saving some lives here. And that's what these amendments do.
Thank you. Any questions for Leader Lamberth? Representative Sparks, you recognize.
Yeah, Leader Lamberth, have they seen an uptick in suicide?
Yes, Leader Lamberth.
Yes, definitely. Those statistics are out there, not just through the Jason Foundation, but through a variety of resources. There's no doubt about it. And in fact, the pandemic has made it worse, but youth suicides have been on the rise for a while now, and this is something that we must combat.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
Thank you, Leader Lamberth. This is something that's really important to many members of the body. Prior to COVID, we saw a dramatic increase, and particularly more than 100% of kids aged 12 to 15 taking their own lives. It's hard to imagine that, but I really appreciate your hard work and your advocacy on behalf of these kids and their families. And I appreciate that. Any other questions for the members? Representative Miller, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Leader, I'm assuming that it is statewide.
Leader Lambert.
This is to augment a statewide program. They're nationwide. The Jason Foundation, I would argue, outside of Tennessee is probably even better known outside of our borders than they are here. It's one of the best kept secrets in Tennessee. They do a phenomenal job. They have partnered with college football coaches. They have partnered with major athletes to do some outreach. This would be specifically for programs in Tennessee. So they'll continue their nationwide push. And Mr. Chairman, thank you for your kind words about this organization and their efforts. But this would be specifically for programming here in Tennessee statewide. Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman, if I may, and I'll run through these quickly. I have item number 105 on page 7 as well. This is for the city of Portland. It's for an interstate lighting project. This is one, Portland is a smaller city within my community. They simply don't have really the $1.1 million to allocate towards this, but it's for the interstate lighting, which is why I had filed it in hopes that we would potentially consider that. That's a major thoroughfare if you're coming down from Kentucky down Interstate 65. And it's just not very well lit at this point, but it is within the city limits. It would take some funds. Mr. Chairman, I also have on here item number 106, which is the District Attorney General's Conference for additional positions. That would be 8 assistant district attorneys, 1 secretary, and 2 victim witness coordinators. The base budget has some funds for the public defenders, and somehow or another neglected to have additional funds for more assistant district attorneys, victim witness coordinators, and secretaries. That's something that I hope we can all work together on to try to remedy. Mr. Chairman, I also have item number 107. This is specifically for ag extension agents in the distressed counties. This was a request that they had made months ago, and many of you may remember that about a decade back, or even a little bit farther, we actually cut, the legislature did before we all got here, these 32 positions in the distressed counties. The counties were not able to match as much as some of your larger counties. So you've got 2 agents doing the job of 3 people there. This would reinstate that and hopefully help a lot of those distressed counties. And our Representative Shaw and others nodding your head. I mean, it would be a very big deal to be able to do that. The money would go specifically to the ag extension agents of having 32 more. Mr. Chairman, items 108 and 109 are both for the healthcare safety net. It would be alternatively for either $3 million or $10 million. And we have money in the budget right now, I think pushing that up to about $22 million. I'm looking at our finance chair, but this would add additional 3 and 10, either or both. Any amount of money that we can put into the healthcare safety net is a good utilization of funds, in my humble opinion. And last, Mr. Chairman, I have item number 110, which is specifically for our rural healthcare clinics. To really reimburse them for caring for the uninsured. And so all 3 of those items go directly to making sure that we have health care, not just health insurance out there, but actual health care in the communities where our folks need it to be. I live in a very wealthy county by and large, but in the northern part of my county, there are definitely some very distressed areas. And we have places like the Hope Family Health Clinic and the Salvas Center that give direct services to those that are unable to get medical care anywhere else. This would help. All 3 of these would help those folks. Mr. Chairman, those are the amendments that I have.
Thank you, Leader Lamberth. Any questions for Leader Lamberth? Yes, Representative Shaw.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Ms. Leader, the Rural Health Clinic, is that the federally funded clinics? Some of them are and some of them are not. How would that play these dollars?
Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Yeah, so they receive federal funds, state funds, private funds. I mean, it's kind of a combination. We would just be increasing the state funds. I can't tell you that there's a specific federal match that we can get. Sometimes they are able to do that, but this just increases the state funds.
Thank you. Any other questions for Leader Lamberth? Seeing
Chairman,
none, thank you. Chairman Halford, you're recognized. For the members, Chairman Halford has page 5, item number 72. This is his first budget amendment. Chairman Halford, you are recognized on.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This is Amendment 102. It is for the Carroll County Watershed Authority to cover the shortfall in revenue because so many events and things like that, especially fish tournaments and things like that, had to be canceled during this pandemic that we're in. And so the amount suggested here, I would say, sir, is a suggestion. So we'd be happy with anything that you want to put in the pot.
Thank you. What a great negotiator you are, sir. Appreciate your comments and you advocating for your community. Any questions for Chairman Halford? Seeing none, thank you, Chairman Halford. Chairman Ramsey, you're recognized. For the members. Page number 12, item number 165. Page number 12, item number 165, the top of your page. Chairman Ramsey, you're recognized on House Amendment 105.
The first item here, 105, is $150,000 for planning and development cost of the Smoky Mountain Regional Transition Center. All major industries and county governments have issues when they need help with workforce development, as well as reducing the populations in their jails. What the Blount County has done is file a bill, House Bill 200 or 240, that is going to allow them to do interlocal agreements with other counties and maybe possibly go into a regional item. Blount County has set aside and purchased property for a transition center guided by the judicial system, and this money will allow them to design an advisory team, facilitate the needs and the property to develop a program of planning and establish the proposed efforts to reduce recidivism and criminal behavior. So that's what this goes to, is the development of that plan to move forward Knox County, Sevier County, Monroe, Loudoun, and Blount. The item 106 is a $50,000 that addresses the operational needs of Blount County Community Action Agency and the agency's programs, which include Meals on Wheels and involved with the Office of Aging and community service programs. As we know, difficulties have arisen since the pandemic. At the time we saw the pandemic, the Blount County Community Action Agency was delivering 3,000 meals per week. They did it on a 5-day-a-week basis. Since the pandemic, things have gotten so much more difficult that they have gone to 7 days a week. They have also established a benefit enrollment center program for seniors, which allows them to secure federal benefits, which have brought in about $2 million to our seniors in Blount County. This money will allow for the expansion of the Meal on Wheels, which has been extended to seniors that have pets as well. The item 135, Big Brothers and Big Sisters of Middle Tennessee, is an operation across the state, $250,000. It's a pro rata distribution, meaning that it's based on the number of children served in each agency. The Big Brothers and Big Sisters agencies have had a groundswell of activity as parents have been increased their responsibility for children and being absent. The money will be used for mentoring, recruiting folks to help mentor these youngsters. And as we know, the programs that we have like this, Boys and Girls Club and Big Sisters and Big Brothers, they encounter health issues, including mental health problems that surface. And part of this money will be used to address health issues, mental health programs, and services for our young people. Item 181 is for the Mental Health Association of East Tennessee. A year-round health screening campaign is what this money is dedicated to. As we know, going into the pandemic, 1 in 5 Tennesseans had a mental health issue, and you can't ignore the situations that's developing for substance abuse and PTSD and depression that we see an increase in. The story of the pandemic is increases in these issues, overdoses, and what this organization has done in the past is piloted a marketing partnership with some of the mass media programs as well as television programs around Knoxville and different areas. It's very successful in motivating the viewers and cable viewers, which we know the kids are online as well, more so this time. It allows and increases the screening to determine what's troubling the recipients of these media programs.
And finally, I think House Amendment 193, Chairman.
Yes. This is a 10-care increase that increases the reimbursements of community mental health centers for the provision of outpatient behavioral health services by 4%. What we have had to face is the fact that community mental health centers are facing statewide workforce shortages. It's difficult to get people recruited into these programs, into even the education programs. In 2019, the Business and Economic Research Center, Jones College, Middle Tennessee, conducted an economic and fiscal impact and found out that many of the community mental health centers have not received a rate increase in over a decade or longer. Some since 2013.
Thank you, Ramsey. I think we're pressed for time. I will say I feel like the biblical story where somebody walked away with a limp, but because they wrestled with so many things. But I appreciate you advocating for your district in those items. Members, any questions for Chairman Ramsey? Representative Miller, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. It's not a question, more of a statement. This is the second request for Apache programs, Big Brothers, Big Sisters, and actually I have one, so maybe at some point we should join forces and make that request. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Most certainly. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Representative Miller. You won't have to present yours when it comes. We'll kill two birds with one stone, but appreciate that. I will remind the members about two things. One, I stated earlier that you want to make sure that your Senate members files the same budget appropriation that you do. I inappropriately stated that deadline was April the 4th. It's actually April the 1st. So you need to make sure you get with them. And I will say, as it related, we have modified the scoring tabulation up here. You don't have to speak on every one of your amendments. If you choose to pick the three you like the best today, it doesn't mean you don't like the other three yet tomorrow better. But just you might want to choose the ones that you're most passionate about. I know we all have budget appropriation amendments that we're trying to get to, but that's not a slide on Chairman Ramsey because he's one of my favorites. I'm just saying that you might do better to keep your comments brief. That being said, Chairman Moon, you're recognized for the members. Items number, while you're looking there, page 10.
Item 33.
Item number 145, page 10, item number 145. Before he speaks, Chairman Reagan and Speaker Marsh, you're both at these next two up here. Chairman Moon, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I believe that's Amendment 5083. It's $30,000 administration of the courts. It's resources for the Blount County Veterans Treatment Court, which is part of Blount County Recovery Court, for shared counseling. 22 veterans a day take their own lives. This will help address this serious problem. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Chairman. Any questions for Chairman Moon? Seeing none, just draw members' attention, something else here about mental health. You're going to see announcements today about mental health. We're going to continue to have discussions about mental health. Extremely important. One of the biggest challenges our state and local communities face. Thank you very much, Chairman Moon.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, Representative Smith, you are recognized for the members. Page 13, item number 188 is first on her list. House Amendment number 50. Representative Smith, you recognize.
Thank you, Chairman and committee. Amendment number 50 is for the Center of Healthcare and Applied Technology of Tennessee. It is a statewide appropriation of non-recurring funding. This will be a hard asset resource that creates a scientific collaborative space. There are 2 anchor tenants that have already committed. 4 of the individual businesses have been capitalized at $5 million. They just need a shared space to commit. We do have a commitment from the local municipalities for support. And again, it is a non-recurring one-time request. Moving to House Amendment 144, which is the next amendment, is the AIM Center, which is a regional center for mental illness and rehab services. This permits individuals that have mental health coverage for those who are uninsured. And this just is another one-time, non-recurring an appropriation. Then, if the chairman pleases, I can
Yes, next.
knock the other two out very quickly.
Please.
The Tivoli Theater Foundation, as well as the Regional Discovery Museum. Both of these are entities that were very deeply impacted by the COVID lockdowns, as well as continually the capacity restrictions relative to COVID. They're non-recurring one-time appropriations requested with the support of the local municipalities.
Thank you, Representative Smith. Any questions for Representative Smith? Seeing none. Thank you, Representative Smith.
Thank you
Appreciate
kindly.
you coming here today.
Absolutely.
Representative Gillespie is next on the list, page number 4. Page number 4 of the members, item number 56. Representative Gillespie, you are recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and committee. This amendment would provide an additional $2 million non-recurring for the state's smoking cessation program. In years past, we funded this at $4 million. This year, it's being funded only at 2 per the governor's budget. And with COVID going on right now and people working at home and being stressed out, I just think it's appropriate that we kind of hit this issue head on and help as many people as possible. Smoking and tobacco-related illnesses are extremely high up there and cost our state a lot of money. And to address this on the front end, I think is an appropriate use of money.
Thank you. Any questions for Representative Gillespie? I couldn't agree more. This body has spent money, budget appropriations in the past as it relates to cessation for our citizens. Somewhat expensive at times, but definitely worth it. Members, any questions for Representative Gillespie? Seeing none. Thank you, Representative Gillespie. Chairman Reagan, you are recognized. Members, you can see on your list, page number 11 on your list, item number 160. Chairman Reagan, you are recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. In accordance with your instructions in the order of importance rather than the order on your list, the first item I want to present is item number 163, which is for the University of Tennessee Law Enforcement Innovation Center. This is a statewide request. This entity trains law enforcement officers across the state. This request is for the distressed counties to receive access to high-quality, world-class law enforcement training. They estimate this will cover 28 classes delivered across the counties in Tennessee, which will include 576 hours. I could go on at length, but this is something that affects the entire state. I request $500,000, sir.
The amendment number is House Amendment 77 for the members, item number 163 on your list. Chairman Reagan, you're recognized.
Thank you. This is 166 House Amendment number 75 for the Mamie Carmichael School Organization. This is to establish the Tri-County African American Cultural History Museum in Oliver Springs, one of the first educational systems set up for Black students in East Tennessee. And
Thank you, members. That was actually, he misspoke. It's item number 161, House Amendment
I'm sorry?
75, 161-075. Thank you, Chairman Reagan.
All right, the next item is the appropriation. Again, this is a regional impact for the East Tennessee Technology Park, and that's item number 160, House Appropriation number 74. This is requesting $450,000 to relocate an entrance so that an airport can be put in. This will create a huge number of high-paying jobs with a company waiting to come in, which I can't name for obvious reasons, to do pharmaceutical research with the Oak Ridge National Labs. This 1,300-acre site is a job center for Roane County, Anderson County, and several others around the state.
Thank you, Chairman Reagan.
Next, I request the appropriation for the Anderson County. I think this is House Joint Resolution 76, item number 162, which is to complete renovations. Right now, they've got a lot of stuff done, but they haven't finished the roof, which is obviously one of the things they need the most for the renovations of the Office of Aging as well as a senior citizen. Request is non-recurring, and it would increase the total number served. Right now, they serve Anderson County, Knox County, and Campbell County as well.
All right. Thank you, Chairman Reagan. Appreciate your testimony today. Thank you for coming. If I can, any members have questions for Chairman Reagan? Chairman Miller.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Chairman Reagan, when you say you want to establish Tri-County African American Cultural History Museum, the $400,000, exactly what would those dollars be used for?
Okay, the construction has already begun. The $400,000 is to complete it. The community, in conjunction with surrounding counties, has put together money to save a one-room schoolhouse and put a museum beside it for the African American education that took place there.
Thank you. Any other questions, Chairman Reagan? Seeing none, Speaker Marsh, you are recognized. Members, page number 8, item number 122. Page number 8, item number 22 is his first amendment. Speaker Marsh, you're recognized.
That's House Amendment 883. This is for the city of Shelbyville. It's a restroom facility at the new Fisherman's Park right on our Duck River that they're hoping to get a TDOT grant for the trails, but they need a restroom to make this complete. The next one is H84. This is for Bedford County Courthouse. So redoing their windows in the courthouse for $40,000. The next one is House Bill 85. It's for the Department of Agriculture for supporting growth in the utilization of Tennessee agricultural products in brewing and the promotion of growth in the Tennessee brewing industry. That's $350,000. And last is House Bill 86, Department of Commerce, provide training at no cost to the volunteer firefighters at the State Fire Academy, $300,000 recurring. Fire Academy is in Bedford County.
Thank you, Speaker Marsh. Any questions for Speaker Marsh? I might find favor with your third one, House Amendment 85, only because I'd like to see the former representative come up here and talk to us about brewing and breweries. I think it'd be an excellent opportunity for us to hear from him. But anyways, thank you, Speaker Marsh. Appreciate your comments today. You'll get that later. Chairman Hasten, you're recognized. For the members, Chairman Hasten, page number 5, item number 77. These two last chairs are going to be Hurt and Eldridge. Everyone else, we'll see you tomorrow at 4:30. I'm just letting you out of here. For those that aren't aware of that, the caucus meeting for the House Republicans, the caucus bill review is going on. Your presence is requested over there while I have a hard stop here. Democrats are welcome to come too, probably. But anyways, Chairman Hasten, you are recognized on your amendment.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This budget amendment will help DOE launch a statewide attendance recovery program for unaccounted for students.
Thank you, Chairman. You were so effective. I hadn't even caught up to you yet. Item number 5, or page number 5, item number 77. Yes, please.
This budget amendment will help DOE launch a statewide attendance recovery program for unaccounted for students, which is neighboring in the range of 20,000 to 30,000.
Yes. Any questions for the chairman? Chairman, I have read a little bit about this policy. Other states are using this, I understand, and the success rate has been somewhat phenomenal.
Close to 60%.
Yeah, that's what pretty amazing. Especially coming on the backside of COVID, I think it's something we definitely need to consider. But thank you for your sponsorship today. Representative Grills, you are recognized on your amendments. They're on page 4, members, page 4, item number 66.
If it'd be okay with you, Mr. Chairman, 66, 67, and 68 are kind of like when you represent 3 counties, it's like pick which one of your counties is your favorite, like a kid.
Yeah.
They're for the county fire departments. They're for maintenance expenses and new equipment and also training. Obviously, COVID has hurt the fundraising abilities.
Right.
But there's a $25,000 for my 2 larger counties and a $10,000 for Lake County.
Thank you. Any questions for Representative Grills? Let the record reflect that he loves all of his kids the same. You have one additional one. Yes.
Number 69.
Yes, sir. Item number 150, House Amendment 156.
That is $12,000 to put a landing pad for a helicopter in the Cloverdale community. It's about 25 minutes from a hospital, and they don't have any opportunity to land a helicopter until the fire department or police officers, make sure it's okay to land. They don't land, so they need this so they can just come in, land without having, emergency personnel there to make sure that it's a secure place.
So is it at a hospital or at a community center?
It is in the middle of Cloverdale, and if you ever go to Cloverdale, you'll know you're there.
Okay, perfect. Members, any questions?
It's 25 minutes from a hospital.
Okay. Thank you, member. Any questions for Representative Grills? Seeing none. Thank you, Representative Grills. Next on the West Tennessee slide, page number 7, item number 97. Representative Hurt, you are recognized on House Amendment 229.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This amendment is asking for $34,500 for the Lauderdale County volunteer firefighters to purchase new radios. Their radios no longer are compatible. They're too old. They don't work with the 911 system. So the firefighters on call are relying on their personal cell phones while they're in fire trucks or in their own vehicles trying to respond to fires. And of course, we know with fire trucks, there's no Bluetooth in them. So they're trying to coordinate their people coming through in rural Lauderdale County. And so this would be to buy radios that would work with the 911 system and allow them to respond better.
Thank you, Representative Hurt. Any questions? Can you hold on 1 second?
Maybe.
We have lots of numbers going through our mind. I wanted to make sure before I spoke, but there is a move afoot to try to find old radios for districts, rural districts like yours. And so I just wanted to check with the chair lady about that. But I'll have my office get with you too in case something goes squirrely here. But thank you for your testimony today.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Committee.
Representative Eldridge, you are recognized for the members. Representative Eldridge, I've lost my place. Page 3, item number 44. Page 3, item number 44. Representative Eldridge, you are recognized.
Chairman, not that I don't love that one too, but if you don't care, we can move down to item number 45.
Yes, sir. Item number 45, House Amendment 114, Hamlin County.
Okay. Hamlin County is seeking to join the Tennessee Advanced Communication Network managed by the Department of Safety and Homeland Security. In order to do this, they have to replace all the radios that they currently have. By going to the the TAC network, I believe as they refer to it as, it would help improve our local communications because Hamlin County does have some dead spots up there.
Okay, thank you. Any questions for Representative Eldridge? Seeing none, Representative Eldridge, do you have any more you'd like to talk about today?
Yes, sir. If we could, number 46.
Okay, item number 46, House Amendment 115.
Okay. Thank you, Chairman. This one deals with our TCAT. There's a parcel of property. There's about 4.2 acres located adjoining our current TCAT center, which is in the middle of an expansion. This property is the only really vacant property that would be available for further expansion. And we do have interest in doing a diesel mechanics school in that area. And of course, we do serve a wide area up there in East Tennessee for technical education.
Yeah. Thank you. Any questions, Representative Eldridge? Seeing none, Representative Eldridge, you're recognized.
On item number 47, this one is a local, but it's very near and dear to us up there. Serenity House is an end-of-life center or a home per se. It's not a medical facility or anything like that. They don't receive anything as far as Medicare or TennCare. They rely very heavily on local support. They are interested in expanding. They've had to turn away about 63 referrals so far. In 2020, they turned away 63. They are a great center. We really appreciate them. They serve every county around us. They even serve as far away as Knox County. So it's a very, very dear project up there for a lot of people.
Thank you. Thank you. Any other questions? Is that all you have today?
I have one more, sir, on number 48, and I'll make it brief. This is a jail to jobs work program. We started one in 2017 that has been very effective for the women. We would like to expand and start one for the men. This is administered by Helen Ross McNabb, and it's got an 87% effective rate. These ladies are employed by 9 weeks, and the success rate has just been phenomenal. We would like to expand that to the men.
Thank you, Representative Eldridge. Any questions for Representative Eldridge? Representative Miller.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Quick question, 87% effective rate. Is measured over what length of time?
So this is since its inception in 2017, that the success rate has been at 87%. It's been very effective, and it's very, very well received up in our area. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Representative Eldridge. Thank you, committee, for being here today. Tomorrow, we will reconvene at 4:30 here in this committee. We are back in session. Any questions or comments from the members? Seeing none, I move to adjourn.